from Santa Barbara. Welcome to Compassionate Connection. I'm your hostess, Gigi Amour, and the purpose of our show is to share with you how to connect compassionately within ourselves and with others. When we choose to really gain the knowledge of compassion, the language of peace, we can transform our own lives and enrich and have way higher quality relationships with others. And with that being said, I'd like to reflect on the man, Dr. Rosenberg, that really developed this language of life, this language, well, this is his most popular best-selling book, and it helps us to understand how we think, the language and the communication that we actually do choose to use. And with that being said, this book is now out there in several countries, translated in probably 40 languages by now, and it can just, once again, change your life, enrich your relationships. Now tonight, I'm really happy we have someone that's definitely in alignment with peace and love and that inner joy and putting that out there in life as well. And she's very special to us, and I'm so happy you're here on the planet. Thank you for being with us, Mary. It's a joy to have you.
Oh, thank you, Gigi. I really enjoy being on your show because you are just a delight, and your message really is so important. And so I love being able to share in that message.
And we enjoy having Mary Raymaker with us because she has that ability to help us with our emotional turmoil, and she helps us with teaching us the keys to our ultimate happiness. And tonight we will be discussing how to meet you where you are. But in the meantime, Mary, tell us a little about your introduction to how you have advanced over so many years with your healing abilities.
I guess the easiest place for me to start is let me tell you a little bit about my story, because I think my story will actually answer your question. So I was born in the Midwest. I was born out in the rural community. So my father was both a farmer and he worked in a factory. And like pretty much everyone I know, I've yet to meet, I think, a handful of people that have not grown up in a dysfunctional family. So my family too was very dysfunctional. My father, I guess you could call him a mean tyrant, very mean-spirited. And I grew up believing that the way to find happiness was to go to college. So I went to college, graduated from college, married my college sweetheart. We got the home in the suburbs. We were going to have children. I was going to be the second income. You know, everything that I had heard growing up that was going to make me happy. That's what I did after college. Got the degree, went into banking, which is a very stable job, and I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable, and it had nothing to do with my husband. But my illusion of this suburban lifestyle with, you know, being the soccer mom type of a lifestyle made me miserable. I was absolutely miserable. So then in the process of trying to figure out, okay, why am I miserable? I didn't like my job. And I didn't care to be around my husband. He was a great man. There wasn't nothing wrong with him, but I just was not happy. So what do? You get a divorce. Let's get rid of the husband that you're not happy with. I got a different job. So now I went into financial planning. So I'm my own boss, making a lot of money, doing what I did in banking with people, but now I could help them a lot more. I could help make their dreams come true. So I have like the dream job. So now I have a boyfriend who's an investment banker, and we talked about getting married, and now we're doing a vacation a month, and we did, you know, the socialite lifestyle, lots of money, lots of toys, lots of, you know, the big expensive things. That's going to make me happy. I'm now on the top of the world. And I was miserable, absolutely miserable. I mean, here I am making a ton of money, and I am miserable. So miserable that I started to hit a place of really wondering what I'm going to do to fix this. And I tried everything. Anything that was out there, if somebody said, have you seen this therapist? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? I tried it because I was so miserable. And fortunately, I was starting to become wise enough as I was getting over, let's look at myself. Let's not look outside of myself. Let's look at me. So that's where I tried all kinds of things. I tried therapy. I tried breath work. I tried, you name it. If it was out there, I tried it. Because somebody was always coming along saying, hey, have you tried this? And I was willing to try anything.
To fill up that happy place within you by the external world.
Yes, because I was not happy by my external world. I was absolutely miserable. So what do? I break up with that boyfriend because I'm not happy, and I start drinking. Let's do the party lifestyle, because I heard my whole life, oh, party it up. Let's go have, that drink. Let's go out and give it a good job. Celebrate. So I did. And 9 months later, I crashed. I was more miserable than I'd ever been in my life, and I started sobbing at work one day. So I found God. And I'd always had a spiritual side to me, but when I was doing that drinking period in particular, I was not doing anything spiritual. I wasn't doing a horrible life, but I was doing the party lifestyle.
Yes.
And I was absolutely miserable. So miserable. In my dream job, I'm sobbing at work one day. So I find God. Now I'm going to be happy. I even moved into what I call a co-ed community, like a co-ed convent, because I was determined that this is what's going to make me happy. Now I found the solution to what has made me miserable. And it did give me a base foundation. But the things that had happened in my life, all the different things that happen to us as life goes along, because life does come along, I still was miserable. It started in my childhood, but as things were going on and progressing, all these different scenarios that I'm describing, all these things that were making me feel miserable, I didn't know how to get out of that misery. And like I said, I've tried everything by this point. So I leave the co-ed community. They were changing. They were no longer going to be self-sustaining, and I left it. And it was a good time to leave. And leaving, all of my misery came back with me. So,
no matter where you went,
no
there
matter
it was.
where I went or what I did,
Yeah.
I was still miserable.
Yeah.
So I'm describing the different things that people have always said will make you happy. Success, children, family, partying, I experience it all. Even saying God's going to solve everything. Now, God is still a foundation in my life, but it didn't take away my misery. So I found this ancient technique from the Inca culture in Peru. And what I found with it is these people are so smart. They say it's at least 10,000 years old. And I discovered when I found my first teacher, we had to work on each other, all these issues that I was miserable over, that I at first was pointing the fingers outward, and then I'm saying, look inside. As they were getting more and more cleared out, I was getting happier and happier. And I found that the happiness lasted longer stretches. So then what starts to happen is once you have that inner happiness, that inner joy, that inner peace, then when you start to have the external successes, my motivation and happiness isn't based on that. But now because I have this inner joy and all the successes are coming from the outside, I can enjoy them because now my happiness isn't based on that. My happiness is based on how I'm feeling inside, and because I love helping other people, I love making other people feel happiness, I'm now in my dream job again.